Welcome to Marrowlyn land. Let's watch some freaky things going on in the universe.
This individual came in stating that he had this diabolical oppression happening with him, especially at night, and he would get a nausea anytime he attempted to do anything spiritual. So pick up the Bible, even to look at a holy picture, he would have this urge to throw up. So I sit down with him and I'm talking to him. Now I've arranged at a set time a person next door that he has not seen and that he is not aware of, but I've arranged at 1:52 p.m. I'm going to be with this individual, and at that point you are going to start praying against any and every evil in it. Right? So he doesn't know this. Person is in the next office over. Okay. Right? So the person I have praying, I'm watching the clock, and we're just talking about whatever, and I'm observing. All of a sudden, is there a change in behavior? Is there an agitation? Is there a change in his mood? Does he become tense? Well, he closed his eyes and flopped over at 1:52. So bingo, we have something.
If you can get through these three artworks without cringing, hats off to you. Number 1, Saint Bartholomew Flayed by Marco da Grade. This is really horrifying when you realize what it is actually depicting. This is Saint Bartholomew, one of Christ's 12 apostles who was skinned alive and then beheaded for his Christian faith. And here he is shown with the entirety of his skin flayed off. Most disturbing of all, this fabric that you see draped over his skinless body is not drapery. It's his flayed skin. His flayed head with its deflated form is shown hanging lifelessly over his left shoulder. I got goosebumps seeing this sculpture in person in the Duomo in Milan. It's a grisly and ghastly sculpture that powerfully immortalizes the saint's suffering and martyrdom. Number 2, The Bell of Huesca by José Casado de la Riza. This painting depicts one of the most horrific legends of medieval Spain. After his ascent to the throne, following the death of his heirless brother, Ramiro II struggled to gain the trust of his nobles. Because he was a monk with little experience in the courts of government, many thought him to be highly incompetent, and they did as they pleased, undermining his authority. After seeking advice from a fellow monk, Ramiro II then invited his most rebellious nobles to a meeting in the city of Huesca under the pretense of discussing some important matters. When they arrived, King Ramiro invited them into a hall and then beheaded them. He then arranged their severed heads in a circle and hung the head of their leader in the center to emulate the clapper of the bell, hence the Bell of Huesca. Ramiro then invited the remaining members of his court to look upon the carnage. Here he stares at his court in defiance, and his court members look upon the massacre in complete disbelief and horror, the loudest of bells serving as a warning to others about the dire consequences of defying Ramiro's authority. Number 3, The Torture of Prometheus by Gioacchino Macereto. Can you imagine having an eagle attack and devour your liver on a daily basis for the rest of your life? Here we see the mythological titan Prometheus enduring one of the most horrible punishments of all time. After defying Zeus by stealing fire from the gods and gifting it to humanity, Prometheus was chained to a rock and Zeus sent an enormous eagle to devour his liver. Each day his body would then heal itself so that he would suffer the same fate daily. In this painting, our attention is drawn to Prometheus's expression, and what an expression it is. His features are contorted with fear, desperation, and unbearable pain. The shallow confines of the painting's canvas echo and accentuate his confinement and his inability to escape.
You hear something spooky though? In 1884, Pope Leo XIII, they were doing mass at the Vatican Chapel, and then all of a sudden he just froze. They said that his face went white as a ghost, and he stood there in terror for 10 minutes. But he said he just received a vision. There was two voices that were speaking to him, one being Jesus and one being Satan. This is how the conversation went. The guttural voice, the voice of Satan, in his pride boasted to our Lord, the gentle voice of the Lord said, "You can? Then go ahead and do so." Satan said, "To do so I need more time and more power." Then Jesus said, "How much time and how much power?"
75 to 100 years, and they greater power those who will give themselves over to my service.
Then Jesus said, "You have the time, you will have the power, do with them what you will."
It's like a Job situation.
Yeah. So that was the last Pope Leo got that vision.
Let's hope here that we can move forward, and that this isn't our final episode because we're in some nuclear Armageddon. We don't want that. But it is just funny. It's just real. It doesn't matter who's in there. Just really doesn't matter who's in there. War is the business. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing here. So anybody that gets overly invested in politics, like, I get it, I guess, if your like daughter lost her swim race to a guy with a cock or something. You know what I mean? Like, you know. But when you get overly invested in politics, I've been on this beat for a minute. You just have to sit back and laugh. That's why I make fun of it all, because like, it's just gonna be what it'll be here. There's not. What do you think's gonna happen? It's gonna be what it's gonna be. Nothing really. There's nothing to do. Hopefully they can calm this fucking thing down. But then it'll be something else. Because those boomer Fox News retards are... You can easily get those people riled up. You can easily get them riled up. It's not hard. These are the same type of people that fly American flags, you know. And they're like, I'll fly my flag. You goddamn you don't like my flag. And it's like, no one doesn't like your flag. No one's telling you, no one's saying to not fly the flag. They live in like a cul-de-sac on Long Island. They think people are trying to take their flag down.
That's insane. Don't forget to like.
A lot of you don't understand why Trump was so popular, but I get it, because I hear it every day. He's very loved. The reason he's loved is because people in Ohio have never seen somebody like him. That first debate, I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen a white male billionaire screaming at the top of his lungs, this whole system is rigged, he said. And across the stage was a white woman, Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama, sitting over there looking at him like, no, it's not. I said, now wait a minute, bro. It's what he said. And the moderator said, well, Mr. Trump, if in fact the system is rigged, as you suggest, what would be your evidence? Remember what he said, bro? He said, I know the system is rigged because I use it. I said, God damn! No one ever heard someone say something that true. And then Hillary Clinton tried to punch him in the taxes. She said, this man doesn't pay his taxes. He shot right back. That makes me smart. And then he said, if you want me to pay my taxes, then change the tax code.
And she could have done this years ago, by the way. She was a United States Senator. She complains that Donald Trump took advantage of the tax code. Well, why didn't she change it? Why didn't you change it when you were a senator?
But I know you won't, because your friends and your donors enjoy the same tax breaks that I do.
The reason you didn't is that all your friends take the same advantage that I do. And I do.
And with that, my friends, the star was born.
I don't know if I've ever met anyone more foolish than you. You've come on stage and you're smiling and you find great humor in the fact that you're assaulted and physically assaulted by God. If you'll listen to me, I want to outline the situation for you.
Everything you're saying, yes, sir.
Okay? I've trained thousands of warriors, soldiers to take the battlefield in some of the most austere and dangerous conditions imaginable. You understand that?
Yes, sir. That's probably why your
I've
daughter's
come
so afraid.
looking for you, and I'm going to just tell you that by the grace of God in heaven, I was unable to find you, and it's only through my inability to do so that you still draw breath.
Well, I'm a legal immigrant. I came here right away. It took me 6.5 years to become citizen. My brother waited in China for 13 years to come here. It is a slap in the face to all the legal immigrants who are still waiting in line all over the world with American sponsors. Some of them have been waiting for over 10 years. What kind of message do we want to send to the world? If you follow the law, we're going to punish you. And if you come here illegally, we'll give you quick pass to citizenship. I support, deport all the illegal aliens who committed crime immediately.
You don't like ice? I bet you like ice in your soda.
I can't argue with this at all, but...
Have you heard of the Black Eye Club?
Black Eye Club?
The last meeting, Trump and Elon had their... You saw Elon had that black eye. I don't know if you noticed.
Here's a peril. Here's a providence that Parliament not just forgot, not just forsook, but deliberately ignored. Three things. One, the principle that politicians ignored. As I've said in the House of Commons last week, the majority of MPs wickedly ignored a threefold biblical principle. One, they ignored that God is the creator and source of life. Think of these words: the Spirit of God hath made me. this is a revelation. This is a recognition that God is not just the living and the true God, but He's also our creator and maker. We'll ask the question, where did we come from? We'll have to trace our roots, don't we? We'll have to think about our ancestry. Well, here's a great fundamental truth. We did not make ourselves. Man's origin is outside of himself. Man is made by the Spirit of God.
Whoa.